Hey guys, welcome to Smith Fall Winter 2021. Today in this video we're going to talk about the legendary Smith Optics, 50 years of history, technology, and innovation, all geared towards making the experience better in the winter sports outdoors.
I mean, the path of innovation is simple to conceptualize, difficult to establish. Bob Smith is the true innovator. He was an innovator in skiing by creating the double lens ski goggle. He really moved the needle in the sports field as well as in life.
Hey guys, welcome to this new style of doing clinics. This is new for us, it's new for you guys, so thank you for joining today. In this section we're going to talk about the history of Smith Optics as a brand, how long they've been in the market for, and where they are today. Where it all started was with an orthodontist named Bob Smith. Dr. Bob Smith loved to ski. In 1965, Dr. Bob Smith invented a dual lens. This was the first relevant technology in winter sports products, specifically with goggles. Before that, all the lenses out there were single lenses. Anybody have a guess as to why that wouldn't really work that well in a winter sports environment? It has to do with anti-fog. Anti-fog technology was really invented in a condo in Snowbird, Utah. Dr. Bob Smith was spending time with some buddies out there on a great ski trip. They were enjoying their day. It was snowing like crazy. The story goes that they had to quit the day early because their goggles kept fogging up. So they went back to their condo and noticed that it was warm and humid, yet none of the windows were fogging up. So they took a closer look at that dual pane of glass, and they noticed that on one side they had cold air and on the other side they had warm air, yet the warm air side was not fogging. They realized that was because of the dual pane of glass. So that gave Dr. Smith the idea there on the spot to take apart two goggles, glue lenses together with a little bit of spacer foam from the mattress pad in between them, slam it into a frame. They tried it the next day, and it worked so well that he started to build these for his buddies. Well, the following year, he was out in Snowbird, Utah, and it was dumping snow. Everybody was going in for après. They were quitting the day because their goggles kept fogging, yet Dr. Smith and his group kept riding. They got to extend their day, and one of the shop owners came out and asked this group that kept lapping in this crazy adverse winter storm how they were out there still skiing. And so Dr. Smith showed him his goggle and got his first order for Smith Optics. This was over 50 years ago. Very humble beginnings, but the brand has always been fueled by innovation. And that continues on today. Since that original technology came out to the market in 1965, Smith has developed an even deeper appreciation for anti-fog, and we actually have a totally different way of doing anti-fog than anybody else. Traditionally, goggle brands have fought fogging by creating a dual lens themselves. This is standard in the marketplace today. Most brands will tell you not to do what to the interior of their lenses? Touch them. Why is that? Traditionally, most goggle brands will add a coating or a spray to the inside surface area of their goggle lens. The problem with that is that a coating is impermanent. It can be wiped free, it can be smudged, it could smear, and eventually it goes away. It's no longer anti-fog. What Smith does differently is they actually micro-etch the interior surface of the lens. This creates micro-corrugations that absorb humidity and disperses it before fog can form. This technology is called 5X, is that it lasts forever, it's permanent. It can't be wiped free, so the lens is more durable. And you can actually run warm water on the inside of the lens to clear any kind of sediment or salt or anything that sticks to the inside of the lens without worrying about affecting the anti-fog. This is a really key component to the lens technology from Smith. It's part of why we offer a lifetime unlimited warranty. The cool thing about this is you guys can actually show your customer how this works versus telling them how it works. So I'm going to demonstrate that right now for you today, and I encourage you guys to do the same in the stores that you're in. Fog up the outside of this lens so you can see fog occur, and in the environment we are in right now, it's pretty dry, so it's going away pretty quickly. Now when we do the same to the inside of the lens, no fog forms. I encourage you guys to try this in the shop. This is a great way to show your customer how durable and how long-lasting the Smith lenses are. So that's Smith anti-fog technology. It's something that's basic in the market, but not so basic when Smith applies their own tech to it. Really the standard of which we build our brand off of for winter sports.
There was a moment in the mid-90s when Smith put itself on the map in eyewear. Smith created an innovation called the sliders that you could interchange the lenses independently. As soon as we came out with the slider sunglass, the immediate question was, where's the slider goggle? Where are the multiple lenses? How can I easily change my lenses, and how can I do that intuitively? After 7 years, we were able to come up with what was the original IO. Now, because we're 10, 12 years into the history of the IO family, we're able to really focus on the super details at this point. Before, we were kind of painting by roller. Now we're painting by fine tip brush.
Over 10 years ago now, Smith Optics developed the very first interchangeable lens technology in the winter sports market with the Smith IO goggle. Great product at the time, solved a lot of problems. It was a revolutionary innovation. There was nothing like it. Every other brand caught up to that at this point offers their version of a Smith IO. So that's flattering and humbling, but it also motivates us to change the game and actually drive our innovation further. What I'm holding in my hand is the IO Mag XL. This IO Mag XL has a quick lens interchangeable system. The beauty of this and MagTech is its quick interchange and its locking. Most MagTech goggles in the marketplace do not lock their lenses to the frame, and that leads to lenses popping off in a crash scenario or even simply pulling your goggle up over your helmet. For Smith, we had to make sure that that product wasn't only super fast and easy to switch out, we also had to make sure that we could lock the lens. I mean, you're seeing the locking mechanism here, this little paddle on the face foam, but make it super secure. The beauty of that is that you can pop your lens in quickly, you can trust that it's not going to pop out on you, and you can get back to what you enjoy most, shredding around on the hill.
We innovate product not just for innovation's sake. Innovation really should move the needle of solving more problems. And I think starting with the IO Mag and continuing for the next couple of years, you'll see Smith change the game again.
In the Smith MagTech line, there are two different ways to interchange the lenses. On the IO Mag S, the IO Mag, and the IO Mag XL, you have a nice, easy to use paddle system that unlocks the lens from the frame. So here we have the IO Mag S. I simply unlock one side and peel the lens off. The magnets connect on their own, snap the lens back in, and you're good to go. That's how you switch the lens out for the IO Mag S, the IO Mag, and the IO Mag XL. In the Smith Mag collection, we also offer a different way to switch out and lock the lenses. So we saw the traditional way with the Mag S, the Mag, and the Mag XL. Now we're going to check out the new Squad Mag and the 4D Mag. A little bit different than the others. We don't actually work off a paddle system. We have a button on the front of the lens. And you simply press these buttons in on both sides here. Once that's done, lens just peels off the frame. Very easy. You can see how that works here. Lens goes back on, and you simply snap the buttons back into shape, and you're good to go. That's the Squad Mag. Same goes for the 4D Mag. Pop the buttons on the outrigger, lens comes out. Easiest interchangeability, most secure interchangeability in the market. So why would you want to switch your lens out? If it's one thing we know for sure, in a high alpine environment, the weather is always going to change. Therefore, we want to have multiple lenses to address the multiple different kinds of weather that we're going to encounter. So in this case, I've swapped the sunny day lens in for the ChromaPop Rose Flash lens. This Rose Flash lens allows your eyes to adjust and see when it's graybird and cloudy out. So you get nice crisp results, good contrast, and you're able to read the snow conditions really well. When the sun comes back out, you can swap out your cloudy day lens for your sunny day lens. In this case, a platinum mirror lens. Good to go. Smith utilizes a proprietary lens technology known as ChromaPop. ChromaPop allows your eyes to see true color faster. Does anybody know what this slide is illustrating? This is the visible light spectrum. The visible light spectrum illustrates how the human eye actually sees color. The left side of the spectrum illustrates shorter wavelengths, and the right side of the spectrum illustrates longer wavelengths. The longer wavelengths are easier for the human eye to see. On the left side, you have UV, which is invisible to the human eye, and on the right side, you have infrared, which is also invisible to the human eye. Both sides of the spectrum combine in the middle at certain points. specifically 480 and 580 nanometers. How does the brain see color? Through cones in our eyes. These cones in our eyes are actually dialed into the visible light spectrum. We, as humans, are trichromic. We see red, we see green, and we see blue in all different variations of red, green, and blue. How does the brain get colors confused? Well, at a distance, sometimes colors cross over one another as the radiation spreads and reflects off objects. When cones send weak signals, the brain has a hard time distinguishing between wavelengths. ChromaPop separates the visible light wavelengths so that the eye and the brain can read color more crisply, more smoothly, and more quickly. The advantage is you have an upgraded experience with sharper definition. You have instant advantage over your environment because you can see true colors easier. And then you have confident performance because you can see true colors faster, giving you better definition and contrast in a winter sports environment. Here's a demonstration to show how ChromaPop works. This is actually a color blindness test between red and between blue. If you're colorblind, typically you won't be able to see the word pop. When you look through a ChromaPop lens, you should actually see red and blue separate in this image, and red will stand out more, showing the separation of colors happening before your eyes. In this shot, we're going to demonstrate how a ChromaPop lens affects a green background area. Here you can see the green choroid on this display. Looks pretty flat, but as soon as we look through a ChromaPop rose flash lens, you can actually see the difference in contrast between the green on the choroid. Here we're going to demonstrate how ChromaPop affects the red spectrum of light. This is a pink visor here on the Session helmet. We're going to go ahead and look through the ChromaPop rose flash lens, and you should see that pink colorway amplify and become more detailed and brighter. In today's retail environment, offering your guest a safe try-on experience is key to getting them to purchase a product. Best and easiest way to do this is with a UV wand, UVC specifically. And that's what we're finding to be the quickest and the most successful to build confidence with your guests when they try on products. It will work great on helmets as well. What we don't recommend is any kind of spray or any kind of wipe onto the inside of the lens or onto the outside of the lens, which could cause the lens to curl, to delam, to break down. UVC has a really unique property. It actually destroys viruses. It's been used for a very long time, almost 100 years in hospital networks. And now these handheld devices allow you, the retailer, to actually go through and disinfect these products. Does anybody recognize this goggle I'm holding right now? This is the original Smith Optics IO goggle. And this is actually the first sampled prototype we ever showed in Colorado. Really interesting product. This is not exactly how production turned out. Pretty interesting to look at here. So how did this goggle become the #1 best-selling goggle in the marketplace? Was it because it came with interchangeable lenses? No. This goggle provided an easy, interchangeable system, 2 sets of lenses, but the key to this product is that it completely disrupted the whole idea of goggles. It was also rimless. This was the first rimless design in the marketplace for a modern goggle. Super unique, super different, and it caught on, and it became kind of the standard for what you see today. Over 10 years ago, Smith changed the game when it made the Smith IO. Last year, Smith changed the game again. Introducing the 4D Mag. Bird's Eye Vision is the latest technology from Smith. This is again a very disruptive new technology in the marketplace. A standard goggle, in this case the IO Mag, features a lens that is spherical, meaning that it actually curves on 2 different axis points. This spherical lens stops right at the cheekbones, whereas the 4D Mag actually continues to curve. So this is a totally new lens shape in the marketplace. The benefit of that is that it allows the wearer to actually see 25% more peripheral vision below and to the sides. The way you can have your guest experience this, and I recommend you do the same in your shop, is to actually have the guest try on a traditional goggle, stand straight up, look down with their eyes, and take a little peek around, and then have them do the same thing with the 4D mag. The 4D mag is going to instantly show them how much more they've been missing with a traditional goggle, and it's going to give them confidence to purchase this new product. These products come with 2 sets of lenses. They are interchangeable magnetically. It's our fastest interchangeable product in the market as well, and our most secure. This is the most disruptive, most premium technology in the market, hands down. It's exciting to show, it's exciting to sell, and it's exciting to wear on the hill. Why, after nearly 50 years of making eyewear, would Smith suddenly have the audacity to start building helmets? Well, flashback over 10 years ago, and the helmet market looked very different than it does today. Helmets were really primarily used by alpine racers and for folks that were feeling like they were a little bit more high risk. People that had concussions before, people that were really going a little bit too fast for their abilities, so beginners. But the mainstream market didn't really catch on to wearing helmets until a few things happened. Unfortunately, more people were getting hurt on the hills. Specifically, celebrities were getting hurt and dying when they were skiing and snowboarding within resort settings. So more and more people started to look at helmets, and the more and more people that wore helmets, the more and more people noticed that goggle helmet integration was not really something that was really happening in the day. This is a long time ago, over 10 years ago now, but at the time there were some great brands out there that were building helmets, and there were some great brands out there that were building goggles, but no brands really building both at the same time. Smith saw this as an opportunity to come to the market and build an ultimate helmet goggle integration story. It was very successful. The very first technology that Smith ever came to the market with was called AirEvac. I'm going to show AirEvac here. This is the Quantum helmet. AirEvac works specifically with the goggle to allow all of the ventilation points at the top of the goggle to evacuate all of that warm air out. Because what does warm air do? It rises. By offering an ultimate integration between goggles and helmets, we were actually alleviating all of those pain points of having your goggles fogging when you wore it with a traditional helmet design. This is a patent that holds today for Smith. Our patent is on the size and the placement of the actual ventilation points on the brim of the helmet itself. Why do we wear helmets when we're skiing and snowboarding? Primarily to protect us from traumatic brain injuries, otherwise known as TBIs. TBIs come in 2 forms. Penetrating TBIs that actually fracture the skull, and concussive TBIs where one side of the skull impacts, and that causes the brain to float around in the shell of the skull and cause a concussive injury. The helmet's job is to protect us from both. Traditional helmets rely on 2 systems to protect you from penetrating and concussive TBIs. The first is a traditional foam component called EPS. EPS, expanded polystyrene, is blown into the shell of the helmet, and that creates a layer of protection between your skull and the snow. The problem with EPS is the way it's built is inconsistent. It starts as a liquid, it's heated up and blown into the shell of the helmet, and it's going to be different every single time. What Smith does a little bit differently there is we offer Koroyd. Koroyd, you can see featured here in the Smith Quantum helmet, is something totally different in the marketplace. Koroyd can slow down an impact by 48%. That's a huge advantage when you're traveling at high speeds and take a fall. For penetrating TBIs, nothing in the market is stronger than Koroyd, nothing in the market is as light as Koroyd, or as ventilated as Koroyd. 3 key features of the product we use instead of EPS to make our helmets lighter, airier, and more protective. Today, Koroyd is available in the following winter sports helmets from Smith: the Mission and the Mirage, the new Altis and the new Vita, the Code, the Level and the Liberty, the Vantage and Vantage Women's, and the Quantum, and introducing the new Icon Race Helmet. The second TBI that we're trying to prevent when we wear a helmet is concussive. Now, a concussive impact often happens in a rotational impact setting. So you're skiing along, you take a fall, odds are you're not going to come head on with the snow. Likely you're going to be rotating into the snow. That inertia gets stopped and your brain moves around inside your skull, causing a concussion. We utilize a technology that is well known in the marketplace today called MIPS. MIPS is available in every single helmet that we make for adults, and the majority of our kids' helmets as well. The engineers of MIPS have created this system to allow your skull to actually continue that inertia, but slowly after the initial impact. The MIPS system minimizes the potential for you to experience a concussion in a rotational impact setting. On behalf of Smith Optics, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you on the hill.